Hey guys, it's Balrog. Welcome back to my guide to the Monopolized achievement for the Halo Master Chief Collection. This is part 12, the penultimate episode, High Charity. Overall, this is a pretty short level even if you just do it normally, because there was a ton of content they had to cut for this level to make the release window for the game, but I do have a few tips and tricks I wanted to showcase. As always, these guides will include no sword flying and no major glitches that should take too long to learn, which includes High Charity Skip unfortunately. That being said, although this level is quite short and not too difficult, it is notoriously random, particularly the opening sequence in the first room. The only 100% consistent strategy I've found to deal with that section is to clear everything, but since we're going for speed, I recommend you attempt to run past the first room with the brutes as I do, and just reset the level if you happen to fail. I have included a couple of different methods to run past the brute room, including the method I found most consistent. I'm going to be using no skulls for the main part of this run. There is a second method to this level, where you run Boom and Sputnik, which makes a couple of parts later easier, but Sputnik requires that you get the rocket launcher by the Pelican early, and Boom makes the Brute Room significantly more deadly, so although I will show how to get past the beginning with both of those skulls on, it's not a method I can recommend for this guide. More on that shortly. Let's get into it. So up ahead near the door, there are a bunch of Flood fighting a couple of brutes, and the Flood almost always win. You'll be charged by two shielded Flood coming down this ramp. One always has a carbine and the other always has a sword, although the order is random. Shoot them with the overcharged plasma pistol and try to get the sword from the second one here. As you can see, the Flood have already made quite short work of those two brutes, although they usually don't beat them quite this quickly. Swap your plasma pistol with that sword and keep on the lookout for shotgun Flood because they are extremely dangerous. There is always a random combat form chasing those grunts, so kill them if you'd like. I like to throw a grenade right into one of these two corners, and you can actually head glitch on both of these little things here. Keep an eye on your radar to see the brute's positioning and try to put a grenade between you and them so you can safely get down this hallway. I like to throw a second one there just in case, and make it up this lift and rotate slightly left so you can jump right out of it. Try to hold forward a bit here to get on the side. I know that was all really quick and that is kind of a tough section to get through, so I'm going to show a couple more ways that room can go here. Coming to the room from the right side this time, going to throw a grenade in the same corner and then do the head glitch and see on our radar what the brutes are doing. Three are coming to the left, one's coming to the right, so I'm going to go around to the right here. I like to throw a grenade right there if they're all in the room, which keeps them a bit farther back so they don't chase you as hard. Again, if they are chasing you kind of close, just turn around and throw another grenade, which should keep them back a bit more. Going to use the middle pedestal for the head glitch this time, and as you can see when we get in here, all of the brutes are not going to come out, two are going to come out and two are going to stay in there, so we have a little bit of trouble. We're going to go around to the right as it looks like that is the path of least resistance here. Try to sword lunge something if you can, but if not, just get back here. I'm going to throw a grenade to make sure they don't follow me. This guy actually came in even with the grenade, so I'm going to throw one more and make him jump into that side passage there, and we're going to go up. So as I mentioned in the intro, there is another method for this level where we have the Boom and Sputnik skulls on. It makes the intro section longer and makes the brute shot brutes significantly more dangerous, which lowers your chances of getting through that room, but I did want to show that here real quick as well. So as you can see, we're firing to try to get their attention to draw them over here, and then we're just going to jump across the gap here to the other side to try to board this pelican. If you don't fire and draw them to the right there will usually be a shotgun Flood here waiting for you, but either way, grab this rocket launcher here. And the reason we're grabbing this rocket launcher is because Sputnik allows us to skip the room where we would normally kill the rocket launcher Flood for his rocket launcher, but we do need one for the second to last room in this level, so we have to get this one instead. As you can see, we did a crouch jump over the first divider there. We're going to head glitch, and it looks like they're coming to the right, so we're going to swoop around to the left and do another jump over this divider here. Try to throw a grenade here to deter them a little bit, and maybe one more to stop them from entering. Remember, Boom is on, so the brute shot brute is going to tear us apart if he so much as looks in our direction. And again, I don't recommend this strategy as those skulls greatly decrease your chances of success through that brute room, but they do make a couple of sections later on much easier, so I did want to include this strategy to get past that room with those skulls on and with the rocket launcher, just in case. I'm going to swap back to the main run here now, finally, and as you can see, I'm juggling the beam rifle from that jackal into this room. Here, there are going to be 6 total buggers flying past you to the left and to the right. There will be between 2 to 4 on either side. Try to deal with all 6 of them, but after you kill 4 of the 6, 6 more will spawn off to the far right here. They'll begin approaching the platform to the left, which has a single brute on it. The objective is to try to kill all of the buggers before they're able to get over to that platform, and then kill the brute before you go over to the left. Doing so will delay the Flood spawns and allow you to get by that section quickly. When the beam rifle is empty, or when you no longer need it here, go ahead and swap it out with the carbine and get some ammo from that crate, and then prepare to head across. If the bugger's already made it to that platform, or if the brute is still alive, Flood will likely have come out of that far door already, and they may be engaged with the brute and the buggers. If that's the case, you can either stay back and kill them with the beam rifle or carbine, or go ahead here and clear them out with the sword. As you can see, we have successfully delayed them this run though, so throw a couple more grenades to delay them further if you can, and then hop on this pad to get the bridge activation started. Keep whittling them down with your carbine while staying on this pad, and you can sword any that get too close, but soon the bridge should activate and bring you over here to safety. We're going to be going to the left here now. 3 Flood combat forms will be coming out of here. We're either going to jump over them or just jump to one of the sides like I'm going to do now and just go past them. These next hallways can be a bit random. Sometimes you'll jump up here and there's an exploder waiting for you, or, I don't know, something like a shotgun flood. And again, that's just anecdotal. I'm not saying anything like that has ever happened to me, but, you know, just stick to the left up here and beware of shotgun flood, and you should be fine most of the time here. In this room, there are a few Covenant patrolling as well, so just keep sticking to the left here and make it through this door as quick as you can. In this next hallway, if you have the Sputnik skull on, you can take this brute shot to the right here, and basically skip the next 2 rooms, and I will show that in a few moments as well. But for the strategy without the skulls on, you're just going to move right out here and into this small hallway and try to not get shot by the guys. Wrap around tight to the left here, make sure you don't go out too much, and then go straight across here, trying to hide from as much fire as you can. Sometimes you can get a bit unlucky there and die before you even make it to that hallway. As you can see, the graphics on my screen at least really are quite bad in Classic, so I like to run this part in Anniversary. If we did the Sputnik start, we'd currently have the rocket launcher, but since we do not, we need to take it from this guy right here. So just sneak up on him and try to sword him. You actually want to swap your sword with the rocket launcher here. In fact, I lost the rocket launcher, went off the edge here. I end up swapping the carbine, but it's no big deal because there's another carbine in the next room. You just don't have quite as much ammo. Again, go to the right here and try to stick to the wall, and you should make it out of there okay. Hang a left here and go into this elevator. If you accidentally swapped your carbine with the rocket launcher instead of the sword, there's a carbine right here as well. Make sure to pick it up or grab the ammo from it. Before we go up this elevator though, I'm going to cut and show these 2 brute shot jumps real quick in case you did decide to go with the Sputnik method. And again, the brute shot we're going to grab is right here before these 2 rooms. Just go ahead and reload it, then walk on in, walk directly toward this wall, look down at your feet, do a jump and fire the brute shot, and Sputnik will get you right up here. You don't have to go through that dangerous walkway or expose yourself to too much enemy fire. And here's the second jump. This is important. You don't want to jump off of this crate right here. You want to get close to the building and then jump. I find this makes it so the rocket flood, who you would normally be killing, doesn't see you here quite as often, and you can just walk on straight through. And remember, because we are skipping that rocket launcher flood, you will need to get the rocket launcher from the very beginning of the level in order to do this strategy with Sputnik. Swap to that carbine, now that we're done with the brute shot, and click the elevator, and I'm going to go ahead and cut back to our main run now. I rewound a little bit just to reiterate, you do want to make sure to grab this carbine if you still have the sword here like I do. You want to go up this lift with the carbine and the rocket launcher, hit the button, and then start meleeing here because we do want to delay this checkpoint. You'll want to stop meleeing and force this checkpoint when you are close but not quite to the top. Make sure you don't delay too much or it will actually just skip the checkpoint altogether. This room is exceptionally dangerous and you do have to do it quite quickly because after a few seconds flood will spawn to the sides and behind you, and you want to make sure you are on your way out of this room by the time they come. To start off, deal with these grunts right here. There should be 3 of them, and then we're going to take out our rocket launcher and grenades, throw as many grenades as you have toward their brute positions, try to group them up, and hide behind this pillar just for a few seconds there. But remember not to wait too long as there will be flood coming behind you. Just kind of charge forward and rocket as you can. Make sure to be conscious of that jackal sniper right there, and as you see, the flood are already on me. Get to this door as quickly as possible so it can start its opening sequence. It does take a few seconds to open here. Just be prepared to go through as soon as it does. As long as you have a little bit of carbine ammo left here, that's all that really matters. Let's go ahead and go through this lift and into the last area. That room is quite difficult, and if you find you are having just way too much trouble with it, remember that turning on the boom skull is a possibility, and that will make the room a bit easier by greatly increasing the explosion radius of the rocket launcher, but that does come at the cost of greatly reduced consistency getting past the brutes in the first room of the level. So aside from sword flying, there are 2 good ways to get through this room quite quickly and safely. The first is to jump on that beam right above our heads right now by jumping on the crates behind us, and the second is the path I'm going to take right here. You can also go through the middle, but an even safer path is to come right up here and do this crouch right here and walk through this section. You do have to crouch again right here to get through. Make sure to turn your attention to and deal with this jackal sniper real quick, and then come back out here. You do have to crouch again to get out of here as well, as you can see, but then you are pretty safe coming through this section, and you can just walk on through to the end of the level trigger with both the grunts and elites mostly ignoring you the entire way. They also generally ignore you if you decide to take the beam through the center there as well, but the Jackal Sniper sometimes does spot you, so it is a bit more dangerous, but a few seconds faster. And remember, if you are struggling too much, either with those flood rooms in the middle you have to run through, or with the room with the Covenant and the Flood both at the end, you can turn on Sputnik and or Boom to help you through those rooms at the cost of a more difficult starting area. Either way, that is it for High Charity, and thus ends our journey with the Master Chief for now. On the next episode, we're going to reunite with the Arbiter one last time and wrap things up with the final mission, the Great Journey. I really hope this guide was helpful to you. I very much appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next episode.